Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 1680, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. How many points must the victor score in a game of cribbage? 61 or 121? In the film The Bourne Ultimatum, where is the Treadstone facility located? 415 East 71st Street, NYC. In which country was St. Patrick born? Answer: Britain. Despite being the main and foremost patron saint of Ireland, St. Patrick wasn't actually born in Ireland. What quality is associated with peaches in Chinese art? Answer: Peaches symbolizing immortality, or the wish for a long and healthy life, are a common symbol in Chinese art. What is the primary ingredient in the silvery amalgam used in dental restoration? Mercury. What is the singer Meat Loaf's real name? Michael Leah Day? What is ethyl alcohol commonly known as? Ethanol. The gun battle at the OK Corral was fought between the Earp brothers and what gang? Clanton Gang. To which color group does St. Charles Place belong on a standard U.S. Monopoly board? Light purple. Writer Miguel de Cervantes was from which country? Spain. Name Dan Hartman's first solo hit? Instant Replay. What famed Motown songwriting trio had their first top 10 hit with Heatwave? Holland Dozier Holland. What does Milo mean in Sony Milo? My Life Online. Who succeeded Spiro Agnew as Vice President of the United States? Gerald Ford. Toxophobia is a fear of what? Being poisoned. What is the capital of Pitcairn Islands? Adamstown. In what movie does Redfoot flick his cigarette into the face of McManus? The Usual Suspects. Who hosted the 88th Academy Awards? Chris Rock. At what university did Tiger Woods play collegiate golf for 2 years before turning pro? Stanford. The highest peak in Africa is located in which country? Tanzania. Which German painter was best known for his depictions of naval warfare in World War I? Claus Bergen, 1885 to 1964, developed a specialty of painting naval subjects, as well as fishing scenes and coastal views. Which song was tapped out on the giant keyboard in Big? Heart and Soul. What addiction-inducing crop did Christopher Columbus discover in Cuba in 1492? Tobacco. What mountain is the tallest point in Greece? Olympus. What is a group of unicorns called? A blessing. What year was the Rosetta Stone inscribed? 196 BC. What is the literal translation of the condition known as diprosopis? Two-faced. What does the abbreviation AT&T stand for? Answer: American Telephone and Telegraph Company. Who earned an Oscar nomination for her role in the movie The Color Purple? Whoopi Goldberg. Where did Aristotle believe the seat of intelligence was? Heart. What do X and Y chromosomes combine in making? Males. Which First Lady saved a portrait of George Washington from a fire at the White House? Answer: Dolly Madison. She fled with Gilbert Stuart's Lansdowne portrait before British troops set fire to the White House during the War of 1812. In the TV show The Simpsons, what IQ does comic book guy possess? 170. Which UN Secretary General was killed in an airplane crash in 1961? Dag Hammarskjöld. What element do you need to avoid goitre? Iodine. When did Benjamin Britten's opera Death in Venice premiere? 1973. What show popularized the Humphrey Bogart line, "Yeah, that's the ticket"? Saturday Night Live. Which city hosted the Olympic Games in 2000? Sydney. How long is the Panama Canal? 51 miles. What was the original intended use for the RC car prior to being a toy? War. First minted in 2000, whose likeness was on the face side of the US dollar coin? Sacagawea. What is Michael J. Fox's middle name? Andrew. Under whose presidency were the waters in the fountains of the White House first dyed green in honor of St. Patrick's Day? Barack Obama. What symbol of peace surrounds the globe on the UN flag? Olive branch. In which decade was Louise Brown the first test tube baby born? 1970s. Which Captain and Tennille hit was written by Neil Sedaka? Love will keep us together. What was Higgins' first name in the TV show Magnum P.I.? Jonathan. What was George Washington's wife's name? Martha. In 1976 to 1977 season in 80 games, the Montreal Canadiens set the NHL record for how many points in a season? 132. What pet bird takes its name from Australian Aborigine words for good eating? The budgerigar. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.